Hello friends, today I'm going to tell you about content provider. What is content provider? This is used to share data between applications. To use content provider in client side, we need content resolver. And the content provider is identified by authorities, and this content provider, authorities means it's identified to a content provider. Exported, there is one option, there is one tag, exported, Android exported. It means this provider is exposed to other application or not. Android enabled. This means is this content provider is instantiable by system or not. Okay, so I have already created one content provider file. If you see, this is my content provider I created, and in a manifest also is defined and provider tag. This provider tag means Android. You need to mention the Android name, authorities, enabled, exported. So here I have given com.mine.provider. You can give any name, but it should not match with the other authorities. So we need to give unique name. So that unique name, you can say your application name with your provider name. So you can say com.mine.provider.my content provider. All you can say is lowercase. Similarly, same name you need to mention in your Java file also. What is your authorities, and based on that authorities you need to create one content URI. Content URI, what is means content URI? Content URI, there is one URI which will be, if any client side anybody try to call any API of content provider through content resolver, there is need to content URI. So the content URI, the style will be prefix colon / authorities / path. So if you see in our case, the prefix, always content provider prefix will be content colon / authorities. In our application, com.mine.provider.my content provider / path. The path you can say all should be small in the authorities, so lowercase. And the path, if you see in our case, we are given content colon / authorities student. That student means your table name. So in our case, the database name is students and the table name is student. So this content URI will be for my application content colon / com.mine.provider dot content dot my content provider. So we are able to understand what is authorities. and so the authorities can be any name. And so in our case com.my.provider.mycontentprovider, same thing we need to mention in Java file also, com.my.provider.mycontentprovider, and the URL will be content://authorities slash student. Okay, so here the content URI equal to URI dot parse, whatever the URL we created we can parse, so that will return URI. So in content provider, if you see, there are 6 main API. One is delete, get type, insert, on create, query, update. Okay, so what and all APIs are there in content provider? One is on create, second is insert, update, delete, query, and get type. Okay, and in our case, to create a database we need one SQLite database. SQLite for content provider, in our case I used SQLite database. So to create SQLite database we need SQLite data helper, that is SQLite open helper. SQLite open helper is used to create database. Here two methods are there. One is on create, second is on upgrade. So on create, after constructor call, then if you see the in SQLite open helper, first the constructor is called whenever the instance of this SQLite open helper is created. Then the first method will be called on create. Here will you execute the create table command. So the create table command, if you see, I have one string here, create table string, that will be create table, table name, and the parenthesis started, and define all the columns, that is ID, name, roll number, marks. So ID will be here I have mentioned integer primary key auto increment, and name is text. So every time you mention this comma, otherwise there will be runtime exception. So always you try to give this comma properly, and at the end also the parenthesis end with semicolon, then the string quoted end, then main semicolon. Okay, so this is the create table query command that will be passed in the on create, the whatever the parameter to db.execute create table command. And on upgrade, there is one more method on upgrade. Here we can pass the db.execute drop table if exists. Normally in on upgrade you will having the commands like drop or alter command. Like if you want to recreate the database, then you can use a drop command. If you want to alter the table structure, like add some columns or remove some column, then you can use alter command. So now we'll create, now this is SQLite open helper class is ready. Now create an instance of this DB helper and SQLite database in the on create method of on create method of the content provider. So in the on create method of content provider, there you say db helper equal to new db helper get context, db is equal to db helper dot get a table database. If db helper if db equal to null, then return false, otherwise return true. Okay, so after onCreate is ready, then we'll go for insert. Because we are having 6 methods, so we'll implement one by one 6 methods. So these 6 methods we can implement one by one. So onCreate is implemented. Here we created the db, then insert, we need to insert into the db.insert, db.update, and db.delete, and db.query. This is get type is different based on the main type. It will return your one URL. Based on the URL, it will return one main type. So onCreate we created db, and insert we inserted executed db.insert, db.update, db.delete, db.query. This will return number of rows inserted. This is to return number of rows updated. This will return number of rows deleted, and this will return the db.query will return on cursor. So in db.insert, okay, let's see how db.insert is there. In db.insert, db.insert, the table name and the null check will say pass null, and the content values. So content values will contain all the key value pairs of information, like what is the ID, name, roll number, marks. So that information will pass to insert on db.insert table name, null values. So this will return one row ID. That insert will return one URL. So here db.insert will return one URL. So that URL means first it will return db.insert, it will return one row ID. That row ID, if row ID is greater than 0, then URI equal to content URIs with append URI row ID. So whatever the URI is there, with append that URI with your ID. Based on the ID, it will append to the URI, and this will return one URI. That URI you need to intimate to client, update to client, that this is my URI. So how to update? Get on test.get content resolver notify change URI, and the observer we currently passed to null. Now after on insert, let's see update. In the update, if you see number of row updated is we need to return. So here how you will update one thing. So it update, you want to update all the columns, all the rows, or based on ID. So if you want to update all the rows, then you can use this one. So this is you are using one URI method. Let's see what is URI method. We need to create an URI method. URI method means suppose there are you want to update. If you want to effect to all the rows, then you will use default URI. That is /path means student. If you want to based on ID effect to the row based on ID, then use ID. So what will be the URI for this? ID can be suppose 5 or something. So to create this two type of URI, you can have an URI method. Which URI is coming from client side, you can set URI method. This URI method have two number identify, 1 or 2. Suppose number 1 means URI method or add URI authorities table name students, means if only table name is asking, the URI name will be this. If URI is coming as a ID, then it will be the number is identified by 2. So in this case URI method, if you see in the update method, you are using URI method dot match URI. If client passing this URI, if matching with this whatever the URI method we define the number of URI, if any of the URI is matched, then this will return student or student ID. If you want to update on all the rows, we will use student. So let's see. Number of row updated equal to db.update table name values selection args. If based on ID, if you want to update, then row update is equal to db.update table name values ID were equal to URI.get last path segment. There is one in URI, there is an API to get the path segment. So if you want to get this path segment last, then you can say get last path segments. So this is written the 3. So ID if equal to 3, then and whatever the selection you are passing. So normally if you write any query, how to update, where ID equal to 3 and the where clause. So similarly ID equal to the URI dot get last path segment and the selection. This selection means where clause. So this is update method. Now on create, insert, update we have seen. Now we will go to delete. In the delete command, now it will return number of row deleted. So here also same thing, URI method match URI. If student is coming, then row deleted equal to db.delete table name selection args, and row deleted equal to db.delete table name where clause ID equal to URI dot get path segment get one. Here get one, you can say get path segment with get one, or get last path segment. URI dot get last path segment and selection with selection args. So similarly, when you delete also, delete where id equal to some id with where clause, some id with where clause. Selection means where clause. So now your insert delete on create, insert, update, delete is over. Now we'll see query. To query, we need to SQLite. To query the SQLite database, we need SQLite query builder. To query, we need SQLite query builder. So SQLite query builder QB is equal to new SQLite query builder, and you can set the table. Our table name is student. So QB query builder dot set tables, and URI method match URI student ID. If student is coming, by default it will execute the query command. If based on ID, then we need to append the where clause. This is if normal without any where clause is based on ID. If your query is not happening, then default query command will execute and return all the information. If based on ID, if you want to execute, then you need to append this information to query builder. Query builder dot append where ID equal to URI dot get path segments. Okay, so insert, update, delete query is ready. Now we'll create one client application. In the client application, if you see, I have created one free edit box, name, roll number, marks, and add record will query, and add record will insert, and retrieve will be query. So now in the main, when add record will come, the method name will be on add record. When retrieve information will come, the method name will be on retrieve. So go to the activity, the method name on record. If you see here, we are get all the information from edit box, and we will create one content values based on the edit box information. We will create the content values. So content values dot put name equal to name edit box name dot get text dot to string. Similarly, roll number equal to integer dot pass and roll number dot get text dot to string. Similarly, marks equal to integer dot pass int marks dot get text to string. So URI equal to get content resolver insert, then content URI and content values, and you can display this information by a toast message. On retrieve, similarly, here if you see, so here the insert is done. Here we need to do query. On retrieve will query all the information. So we are passed all the information like what is the selection arts, order by, everything we passed null. So we will get all the information, all the row information. String builder is equal to new string builder c dot move fast string builder append equal to name information, everything will pass, and set text. So this cursor will be having all the information, and this cursor will looping to this cursor while will get all the information and append to a data to in the string builder, and that string builder information will set text will do in the text view. Let's run this in application and see. So here if you see, we have created this application, and we will see how this data is added or retrieved information. As y1 20 data record. So this is information added to database. Now it's retrieved. It's retrieved. Now you add one more record to F2. And say 95 add record retrieved. Okay, yeah, I have done it. If you have any doubt or any question, if you have any doubt or question or suggestion, please leave a comment. Thanks a lot for watching. Thanks a lot. If you want any kind of Android related tutorial, then please let me know. I will try to